In the Constitution, the executive is just considered the president, and his express powers are relatively vague. They include pardons, appointing ambassadors and federal judges, vetoing and signing laws, and commanding the army. He is called the chief executive, chief of state, chief diplomat, chief legislator, chief citizen, commander-in-chief, chief of party, and guardian of the economy. Over the years, the implied powers in the president have grown because of the vagueness of the Constitution. He can do executive orders and control bureaucracies, who are the ones who implement policies passed by the legislative.
Although often forgotten about, bureaucracies make up the executive branch as well and have the power to implement or to not implement laws as they run on their own agendas. The executive branch also gains a great deal of power by appointing Supreme Court justices, giving the president some control over the judicial branch. The executive branch is the most powerful of the three because it has an advantage regarding the system of checks and balances. This is because the president has the power to modify the judicial branch through appointment and can control all legislation passed in most circumstances, through vetoes and executive orders. Some may argue that the legislative branch is the most powerful branch of the federal government because they control interstate commerce and have the Elastic Clause. However, the executive branch is still the most powerful because of its ability to essentially control the judicial branch and because of its ability to oversee almost all legislation. In recent years, the presidency has slowly gained power, mostly during times of crisis. Congress usually bats an eye at these decisions because they are mostly for the betterment of America. Even though the president tries to help the American people, most of the time his actions overexceed his power and also violate federal laws. These actions that most presidents take show the power of the executive branch. Overall, the executive branch proves to be the most powerful, as seen through bureaucratic power, control over legislation, and the power of the executive order.